1967, from Malaysia, holds a special place in the world of numismatics because of its incredible rarity and historical significance. Struck during the early years of Malaysia's independence, this coin reflects the country's efforts to establish its own unique monetary system after moving away from colonial rule. When the 20 sen of 1967 was minted, it was intended for regular circulation, yet only a very small number were ever produced. This extremely limited mintage has made it one of the most elusive pieces of Malaysian currency, a coin that collectors dream of owning but rarely ever see in real life. The design of the 20 sen 1967 is simple yet elegant, showing the denomination clearly and representing Malaysia's identity at the time. Despite its everyday look, the coin's scarcity has transformed it into a treasure, where even seasoned collectors are stunned when one surfaces. Over the years, stories have spread about the discovery of a few surviving examples of the 20 sen 1967, often hidden away in private collections or unexpectedly turning up in auctions. Each appearance sends ripples across the coin-collecting community, igniting excitement and competition to secure a piece of history. The mystique surrounding the 20 sen 1967 is heightened by the fact that so few people have actually held one in their hands. Unlike many collectible coins, which appear occasionally in markets, this particular issue remains almost mythical, a symbol of rarity within Malaysia's coinage. Collectors value more than just the coin's metal content or face value. They see the 20 sen 1967 as a piece of Malaysia's early national heritage. Its cultural weight, tied with its scarcity, has elevated it far beyond ordinary numismatic interest, making it an icon of Malaysian currency. Auction houses have noted the coin's power to attract global attention, as bidders from around the world compete for the chance to own it. The allure of the 20 sen 1967 comes not just from its age, but from the nearly impossible odds of finding one in pristine condition. The most astonishing fact is its value today, with the 20 sen 1967 reaching an incredible price of $2.45 million. This amount reflects not only the rarity but also the passion of collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary sums for such a legendary coin. Each time a 20 sen 1967 changes hands, it reinforces its position as one of the most valuable coins from Southeast Asia. Its story continues to fascinate historians and collectors alike, ensuring that its reputation as a million-dollar coin will endure. In the end, the 20 sen 1967 stands as a symbol of rarity, history, and immense value, a coin whose humble beginnings contrast sharply with its modern status as one of the rarest and most desired treasures in the numismatic world. In 1998, Malaysia issued the 20 sen coin as part of its second series of circulation coins, designed with traditional cultural motifs to symbolize the nation's identity. The coin itself looked ordinary to most people, with its hibiscus flower design and metallic shine, blending in with the rest of the pocket change used daily across the country. Yet hidden within this year's production was a version so rare that it would later capture the attention of collectors worldwide. In 1998, the minting process faced challenges, and some coins carried errors or striking variations that were never intended for mass release. These mistakes created pieces that stood apart from the millions of common 20 sen coins produced, making them the center of fascination for numismatists. Such anomalies turned what was meant to be just small change into a historic treasure with enormous potential. In 1998, among the coins discovered, a unique combination of minting variation and flawless preservation gave rise to what many consider one of the rarest Malaysian coins in modern times. Collectors describe this piece as nearly mythical, as very few authentic examples have been verified, and most remain hidden in private hands or family collections. Its scarcity is what drives demand higher with every passing year. In 1998, Malaysian coinage was already evolving, with the central bank planning future redesigns to modernize the nation's currency. That makes surviving pieces from the late 1990s even more symbolic, representing a bridge between the older and newer eras of Malaysian money. The rare 20 sen became an unplanned relic of this transitional time, giving it an added layer of historical weight beyond its unusual era. In 1998, stories began circulating among hobbyists about an extraordinary 20 sen coin that differed from ordinary circulation pieces. At first, these tales were dismissed as exaggeration, but as evidence surfaced, serious numismatists began to take notice. The story grew into a legend within Southeast Asian collecting communities, with whispers that the value could exceed that of luxury cars, homes, and even some artworks. In 1998, this coin's reputation reached international coin auctions, where bidders from multiple countries expressed interest in owning a piece of Malaysia's monetary history. Auction houses reported record-breaking enthusiasm, as wealthy collectors viewed the coin not just as currency, but as an artifact of rarity on par with global numismatic legends. Its sudden fame turned Malaysia into a point of discussion among coin historians worldwide. In 1998, while the majority of Malaysians overlooked the possibility of treasure hiding in their spare change, serious collectors scoured marketplaces, antique shops, and family savings jars in hopes of stumbling upon the legendary coin. The search itself became a story, creating excitement among treasure hunters and inspiring countless articles, videos, and discussions about how much the coin could truly be worth. In 1998, the rare 20 reached its peak fame when valuations began circulating that placed its worth at $1.61 million, an amount that stunned both the public and financial experts. For a coin originally intended to buy little more than snacks or bus rides, this staggering figure represented one of the greatest leaps in value for any Malaysian currency. It transformed from spare change into a symbol of unimaginable fortune. In 1998, the cultural impact of this coin spread beyond numismatics, with many Malaysians feeling a sense of pride that their nation could produce a piece so valuable and coveted. It became a reminder that everyday objects can sometimes hold extraordinary stories, hidden beneath the surface of ordinary life. Even those with no interest in collecting felt inspired by the possibility of hidden riches. Next is the 20 in 1988, from Malaysia, is one of those coins that has gained legendary status among collectors, not because it was widely circulated, but because it became a symbol of rarity and mystery in the numismatic world. Produced during a period when Malaysia was modernizing its coinage, this coin stands out due to very limited surviving numbers and the unusual stories attached to it. When Malaysia adopted new designs for its SIN series, the 20 in 1988 quickly became a subject of fascination. While most coins were released in high quantities for circulation, this specific year seems to have experienced anomalies, with some versions struck under unique conditions. For collectors, it represents more than money, it reflects history, policy, and identity. The coin itself features the familiar bunga raya, or hibiscus, the national flower of Malaysia, but it is the year 1988 that transforms it into something extraordinary. It looks like any ordinary SIN coin, yet experts emphasize that the rarity lies in its production. Numismatic specialists argue that only a handful of the authentic rare type exist, sparking debates and treasure hunts across Southeast Asia. Over the years, myths began to surround the 20 in 1988, with tales of collectors searching flea markets and old drawers, hoping to stumble upon one. Some stories even suggest that banks unknowingly circulated a few before realizing their mistake, further feeding the mystery. Because of this, the coin has earned a reputation that goes far beyond its face value. Collectors prize it for its scarcity, but equally for the aura of legend it carries. Owning one is like holding a fragment of Malaysian history that almost slipped away. Its reputation spread across borders, drawing interest from international numismatists who recognized its exceptional status in the coin-collecting community. Many enthusiasts have pointed out that the 20 in 1988 represents a time when Malaysia was forging its economic strength and cultural identity. A small coin from that year, carrying the hibiscus motif, becomes a reminder of both national pride and the hidden treasures that everyday items can hold. Over time, its rarity only amplified its perceived worth. As the number of known authentic pieces remained low, demand grew rapidly, and this imbalance fueled skyrocketing valuations. Collectors, investors, and museums began placing extraordinary bids, transforming the 20 in 1988 from a simple piece of currency into a multi-million-dollar artifact. In fact, the current estimated value for the rarest 20 in 1988 has been reported at around $2 million. This staggering figure reflects not just the coin's rarity, but also the fierce competition among collectors eager to secure one of the world's most mysterious modern coins. For Malaysia, the 20 in 1988 has become a cultural phenomenon, reminding citizens that even small, seemingly ordinary things can carry immense importance. It continues to spark conversations, inspire articles, and send waves of excitement through both local and international markets. To this day, the legend of the 20s in 1988 grows stronger. It has moved far beyond being just money. It is now a story of chance, history, and incredible value, proving that sometimes the most unlikely objects can achieve global fame and fortune. Next is the 20s in 2000, from Malaysia, has become one of the most talked about coins among collectors because of its unusual rarity. It was originally a simple circulation coin, struck under the Bank Negara Malaysia series, but over time its story grew into legend due to a very specific minting error that made it stand out from the millions of ordinary coins in daily use. This error turned an otherwise ordinary piece of pocket change into a treasure known across the numismatic world. The design of the 20s in 2000, from Malaysia, follows the standard second series of Sen coins, featuring the hibiscus, the national flower, on the obverse. On the reverse side, the value and denomination are boldly shown, a design used to help unify the Malaysian currency system. While millions of these coins circulated freely, only a tiny number bore the distinctive traits that collectors now chase, giving the coin its legendary reputation. The error that makes the 20s in 2000, from Malaysia, so rare is tied to its font and alignment details. A variation in the coin's minting resulted in a spacing issue on the 20 SEN text and a misalignment on the numbers of the year, creating a coin that looks subtly different when placed next to a normal issue. These differences may appear small, but in the world of coin collecting, they mean everything. Collectors around the world began to notice that this version of the 20s in 2000, from Malaysia, was almost impossible to find in circulation. It became whispered about in coin forums and collectors' meetings, with stories of people holding on to pieces they found in everyday transactions without knowing what they had. Eventually, the demand for this coin